So I wanted to give you an exhortation. When you're at the point of closest to quit, that's actually the place the closest to your breakthrough that you actually are. It's the hardest part that you press through with God's help. Right before it takes place, you're in a harder place. You encounter more resistance. You encounter more oppression tries to hit you, and again it tries to break you. But the way that the kingdom is, that which will try to break you is actually that will bring your breakthrough. It's completely opposite. Remember, Jesus said, whoever endures to the end shall be saved. So that means there has to be a level of endurance in us to be able to withstand an attack. You know, the thing is, you're going to go through hard times. Why do people think that their hard times are not so, they start praying against hard times? No, I mean, you're going to face difficulties, you're going to face trials, you're going to face adversity. But again, in all of those things, it cannot move you. So this is why in John 16:33, Jesus himself said this, in the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I've overcome the world. I think it's pretty amazing that the Lord told us that tribulation is actually going to happen, but be a good cheerleader because I've overcome the world. So in the world, in our system where we're at, we're going to have tribulation. The word tribulation actually means pressure. It means to be squeezed. So it doesn't mean as a Christian you can get away from your squeezing. Squeezing is going to happen. And oftentimes it happens right before your biggest breakthrough. You know, I used to play football many years ago, and I used to work in the National Football League. And I'll never forget years of playing football, years of working in football. We practiced what was called the drills in the red line, in the red zone. In the red zone, it's 20 yards to the end zone. It's the shortest space you can work right before you score a touchdown. But what happens as you get closer to scoring your touchdown, the defense gets stronger. Defenses always get stronger when things get tighter because there's not as much wiggle room. You can't move around as much. Everything is tighter. And that's the thing, is when you are going through a tight spot, it just means the enemy is resisting you. But it means also that you're at your closest point of scoring your breakthrough. But then you have to understand is you cannot quit when you're that close to the finish line. You cannot quit that close to the goal line. And that's the biggest battle we're going to face, is in our head, to give up. When things get hard, it's actually not a sign that the Lord is gone. It's actually a sign that you're closer. There's so many people that abort their dreams, abort what God has called them to, just because they get some measure of resistance. Resistance is actually proof that you're right in the right spot. If you're getting resistance and all of a sudden, say for instance, God says, I'm calling you to move to a certain place, and God calls you and you move there, and all of a sudden things go good for a while, then resistance hits you. That doesn't mean that God's saying, hey, move again. No, he's meaning, hey, you're getting ready to go through and be promoted. But what he's doing, he's testing our resolve, he's testing our tenacity, he's testing our ability to keep our eyes on the goal, the mark of Jesus. So many times in my life, I've felt like I wanted to quit right in the hardest parts, the hardest spots. But you can't quit. Because that which the enemy would try to do to break you, the Lord will turn around and use it for your breakthrough. Remember that. Breakthrough is imminent as long as you keep your eyes on Jesus and don't quit this close to the goal line. God bless.